the sky today. Hey, I'ma dance on the clouds today and make it rain.
Hey there everybody, and welcome back. So today I'm pretty excited about our flight. We're going to be doing another really long haul, about a 14-15 hour long haul from here in beautiful Toronto, Canada, where weather is actually surprisingly decent today, all the way over to VHHH, also known as Hong Kong International Airport. We'll be flying into some pretty nasty storms in Hong Kong, but our forecast tells us that we should have a little bit of an opening as long as we stay on time and on track. Today we'll be flying in the PMDG 777-300 in the Air Canada livery, and our flight number today will be Air Canada 15 or ACA15, which is one of the premier Air Canada flights with nonstop service from Toronto to Hong Kong. I'm a little bit rusty on the 777 as I haven't flown it in a little while, but still think I got the basics down, so I think we should be okay. And another interesting thing about today's flight is that it will contain some step climbs. Usually you don't see step climbs unless you're in some really long haul flights, because as the aircraft lightens up in terms of fuel burn, it can climb to higher altitudes. So we're going to be starting out relatively low. We're going to be ending our flight somewhere around flight level 370 or around 37,000 feet. We're going to be traveling up north through Canada. We're going to be passing the North Pole, which means that we'll be doing some cool polar operations, and we'll have to worry about our magnetic versus our true heading, as well as our ETOPS, which will be ETOPS of about 180 minutes or so. And then we'll be heading down through Russia, Mongolia, China, and then finally down into Hong Kong and the South Pacific Sea. So with that said, I hope you guys all sit back, relax, and enjoy our flight, and have a good time passing the North Pole. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here we are inside of the cockpit of our beautiful 777-300, and we're getting ready for our long haul flight here. So let's go ahead and start by getting our passengers on board and our fuel on board and get on our way. So with that said, we're just going to go to our overhead. Secondary external power and primary power are already on. 80 IRU along with emergency lights are on. So we are ready to start boarding. So to do that, we'll go ahead and go down here. Go ahead and disarm our door and open it up. And there we go. Our passengers are coming on board. Alright, and so let's go ahead and take a look at our flight plan here. So first of all, check out our zero fuel weight, which is looking like it's 204007, which I believe is already loaded, but let's just double check here. So payload 205, so we'll do 204.0 for our zero fuel weight, and then we'll go ahead and also load up our fuel now, which according to our flight plan, our fuel will be 125,473 in kilograms. So 125, we'll go ahead and make it just 126 just to be safe. Alright, great. Alright, we'll go back over here to our doors page now. And it sounds as though our passengers are already on board. So we'll go ahead and lock up both of these doors. And then what we'll go ahead and do now is going down here, make sure that our parking brake is on. And let's go ahead and start with programming our FMC here. So let's go ahead and load in our GPS position. We are at CYYZ. Alright, and we are gate 168. I don't think it's going to take it, but let's try it anyways. No, it did not, of course. Okay, so route, and we will take a route request right there. We're not going to accept what it gives us. We're going to plug in some stuff manually, but we'll go ahead and just at least let it load the flight plan, and we'll change some of the stuff on the performance initialization page. Alright, so there's our route. Let's go ahead and load it. Alright, and that looks like it's all good. Our flight number will be Air Canada 15. And we'll go ahead and activate that. Performance initialization. It's going to give us some predetermined factors, but we're going to go ahead and reject it. And then what we'll do is we'll, if you guys look at our flight plan, you'll see that we actually have some step climbs here. So we're going to be starting out at 290. We're going to be climbing all the way up to a peak of 360 along the flight. So we're going to start out at we're going to go ahead and put our cruise altitude of 360. Oops. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and drop in our 0 fuel weight, put 5 as reserves, and then our cost index according to our flight plan is, where's our cost index down here? 22. Alright, great. So we'll go ahead and go on our legs. We'll load up our wind data. Alright, we'll execute that, and then it's going to give us our descent forecast. So we'll go on over to our descent forecast page and we'll load that up as well. Alright, cool. Looks good to me. So we're going to take a flaps, we'll take a flaps 15 takeoff, and go ahead and going over to our departure page. So according to our flight plan here, we're supposed to be departing runway 24 right, and then it does have us taking the MATC 3 I'm sorry, the MATC 4 SID. So we'll try to look that up, but 24 right and then MATC 4, and then we'll take the transition Tony. Let's look at our flight plan here. I don't see any discontinuities. Cool. Everything looks good. So MATC to ICLEAN. So let's go ahead and take a look at our Navigraph chart here. And CYYZ. Alright, and we'll pull up, I don't see anything from MATC, so we'll take the take a look at the ICLEAN 1 RNAV. Basically all it is just vectors. So we're pretty much going to turn around. We're going to do a turn out to 027, and then go over to capture ICLEAN, and we'll depart out from there. Let's go ahead and pull up our APC and just figure out what our taxi is going to look like. So right now, as we said, we're at gate, was it 168? We're at gate 168. So we're right here, and we're going to be taking off on runway 24 right. So it's going to pretty much be a turn right out to here. Alright, so let's go ahead and call up ATC. And we will call clearance and get ourselves set up for departure. Alright, so they gave us our taxi clearance. So they said they want us to take 910 over to Delta and then Delta Tango. So Pretty much what we're going to do is just get Pushback right here. I'm going to take this taxiway up to Delta, and then Delta Tango, and then pretty much head right out to 24 right. So cool, that'll work just fine. And what we'll do now is just set up the rest of the aircraft. So auto brakes go to RTO, flight directors both come on. We'll go ahead and plug in our V speeds now. So we'll drop in our CG. V speed is 179 for V2. Alright, and we'll take an initial climb up to 29,000, and then we'll do our steps along the way. Alright, great. Looks good to me. What we'll go ahead and do is now as well is we'll go ahead and throw in our TCAS, and I think we're good to go. We did say we're going to be taking an initial turn after we depart to 027, so we'll go ahead and plug that in. Now we'll go the other way here. 027. All right. And I'm probably not going to use ATC for the vectors actually, so I'll go ahead and take 350 to have us intercept this vector here. Alright, and now all we're doing is just waiting for GSX to finish. So we'll wait for them, and then we'll get on our way. Alright, so GSX is all done. So we'll go ahead and prepare ourselves for pushback here. Before we do, let's go ahead and just close up these doors over here. Arm up our passenger doors, and we should be all good to go. So looks good to me. Let's go ahead and call up GSX, and we will prepare for pushback and departure. And we'll put our nose to the left and our tail to the right. And do I want to start engines before pushback? No. Alright, let's go ahead and pull back this jetway here. And here's our GSX guy. There's our GSX guy coming to take care of us. And what we'll go ahead and do now is we'll go ahead and start up our APU.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And we'll go ahead and start with pressurizing the aircraft. And we'll go ahead and throw in all of our fuel pumps. And I do believe we're going to have fuel in the center, but let's just double check. Yeah, we do. Alright, so let's go on over to the checklist page. And pre-flight oxygen flight instruments are checked. And before start, flight deck doors are all set. Passenger signs is one thing we did forget, so we'll go ahead and throw on the seatbelt signs for our passengers. MCP is all set up. Takeoff speeds are set. CDU pre-flight, and we'll go ahead and deal with our trim here in a minute. Taxi and takeoff briefing is complete, and we'll go ahead and throw on our beacon as we're getting ready to start. And what we'll go ahead and do now is go on over to our flight controls page, and right now our trim is at 4, and our trim should be at 6.5. So our APU is on, so we'll go ahead and throw on our packs now. And we'll go ahead and adjust our trim now to 6.5. Alright. And so we'll go ahead and disconnect our ground equipment. And we'll go back to our checklist page, and our trim is set. Gear is getting locked up, and then we'll go to our before taxi checklist.
Departure check completed. Flight has been inserted. Release parking brakes.
Alright, so beacons are on. We're pressurized. Take off the parking brake.
Push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Alright, so now we'll go ahead and start her up. So, let's go ahead and start with the number 2 engine first, and we'll throw that on.
Toronto ground 3123 with mainline ready to taxi IFR 3123 taxi to it short of runway 23 using taxiway 2 Alpha Echo Alpha Hotel contact tower on 118.7 when ready. Taxi short runway 23 via taxiway 2 Alpha Echo Alpha Hotel 3123.
Just saw some traffic land over there. Little WestJet. Looks like a 737-600 or something. Alright, so number 2 engine is up and running. Let's go ahead and start number 1. Alright, and number 1 is online pretty much. So looks good to me. Just take a look at our hydraulics page real quick. Alright, looks good. So go back to checklist and we'll start our before taxi checklist. Anti-ice is not needed. Recall has been checked. Auto brake is already set. Flight controls, we'll go ahead and check here now once we start. Or, I'm sorry, once we stop. Alright, parking brakes come back on. That little Air Canada Express over there. Little B1900.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass main removed.
Alright, so since our engines are all nice and stable, go ahead and turn off our APU. And let's go ahead and do a flight control check. So full left, full right. We'll do full back. And full forward. Alright, we'll center that out. And then we'll go ahead and check our rudder here.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Alright, and our pushback is complete. So we'll go ahead and give her full right rudder, full left rudder. Alright, good to go. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to our checklist here. Flight controls are checked, and ground equipment is clear. We are ready for our before takeoff checklist. So before takeoff checklist, we'll go ahead and just give ourselves our flaps right now. And we are taking a flaps 15, so we're going on flaps 15. And before takeoff checklist is complete. So let's go ahead and make our taxi. So right now we are facing this away, and we want to take 9 over to 10 to Delta Tango. So let's go ahead and do that now. See some traffic coming in there. And we will call the tower. It looks like there may be some traffic coming in for our runway. We'll give them a call anyways. Oh, we're clear for takeoff. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and throw on our strobes and go ahead and take the runway.
Approaching 24 right.
What kind of plane is this? Looks like a 737. Probably another WestJet.
On runway 24 right.
Alright, and we are all lined up. So let's go ahead and get this party started. So we're revved up, and we'll go ahead and give ourselves toga. Here comes V1.
Rotate.
Alright, we've got a positive rate. We'll go ahead and take gear up. We'll throw in our LNAV and VNAV.
Air Canada 137 Vandy. Contact Toronto departure on 124.475. 124.475.
Alright, and we're also taking our first notch of flaps. And then what we'll go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and put in our autopilot heading select. And we'll start our turn here. Alright, so we are intercepting mates now on our turn, and we're 8,000 feet, and continue our departure here. So let's go ahead and take a look at our after takeoff checklist. So that was before takeoff, that was set. After takeoff, landing gear flaps are up, and after takeoff checklist is complete. Alright, well, everything looks hunky-dory. So, we're going up to 10,000 now. Go ahead and take off our landing lights. And it looks as though we're going to pretty much be clear of weather along the flight. I'll go ahead and throw on our weather radar anyways, just to see what's out there. And I don't think there's going to be anything significant. So, we're going to pass right through these clouds. And then on our way through them, we should be okay to take off our passenger seatbelt signs. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And everything looks good to go. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our polar route on through Canada, through the North Pole, down across the northeasterly part of Russia and into Hong Kong, and as well as China, of course, we'll be crossing over as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. So just real quickly, before we start our descent phase, I wanted to show you guys a couple of things here as we get ready for our next step climb. So the first thing is that as you can see, Right now, you can see that we're actually in true heading mode, and you can also see that down in the heading reference selector that we're on true heading mode. And basically all that means is that the computer has automatically switched itself over to true heading because of the magnetic variations that we get up here in the north and south poles. I believe it's 89 degrees north or south. It automatically switches on over so that we have more accurate headings since the magnetic poles really get in the way of the plane's ability to navigate off of a magnetic heading. So let's go ahead and do our step climb now. So first thing we'll do is we'll look at our next step climb, which is going to be taking us up to 350 from our current altitude at 330. So we go on up here to the MCP, and we're going to select 350. And then from there, once that's done, we're just going to go on down here to our FMS, and we're just going to plug in over there where it says cruise altitude 330. We're going to plug in 350, and just go ahead and click it. And then from there, we're just going to go ahead and hit execute. Great. And then the plane will start taking itself on up to 350. Alright, well, the sun's going down. We're still cruising here, just exiting the North Pole. You can see the break in the ice over there. And it's a beautiful evening. So I'll see you guys a little bit closer to descend. Alright everybody, so we are quite a ways out, but we're over in Mongolia right now, and we're going to go ahead and check the weather down there at Hong Kong and decide what we think our best plan of attack for approach to the airport is going to be. One of the first things I want to rectify is if you look here, you can see that we are getting the fuel temperature low warning on our fuel. It's probably because we're at such a high cruising altitude and our fuel temperature is getting pretty low. Typically you want to keep this within or outside of the 3-degree range from the outside air temperature. So what we're going to go ahead and do is take a quick look at our checklist and see what it recommends. So it says to increase the airspeed or to decrease altitude as options to increase the air temperature. So what we're going to go ahead and do is try to increase our airspeed. And what we'll do is we'll put ourselves in the long-range cruise configuration, which should increase our econ speed significantly enough to help us get our fuel temperature down. So let's go ahead and put ourselves in long-range cruise, and that should increase our cruise speed from 0.826 Mach to 0.839. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll boost up our speed, which brings us kind of there on the threshold, but air looks relatively smooth outside, and so I don't think it should be a big issue because it's not as if we're expecting any sort of massive fluctuations in wind or anything like that. So we'll increase that and see if we can get our temperature under control. Now, other than that, let's go ahead and set up our approach. So according to our flight plan, and right now, just so you guys can see, we are coming up to Gobez, and Gobez is right here. So you can see we're right smack dab in the middle, and then to the on the eastern side of Mongolia. We're gonna head down across China, and then we'll be there in Hong Kong. So according to our flight plan, it has us coming in 7. Let's take a quick look here. So it has us coming in, looks like 7 right. I'm using the Sierra 7 star. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. So we're here at Hong Kong, and let's look at the and we were 7 right. So let's take a look at the RNAV here. Alright, and so I believe, let's see, Maple, Roca, Kanto, Sierra. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look. It said Sierra 7 Charlie, which is this right here, by way of Sierra. So let's go ahead and plug that into the FMC, and take a look at what that looks like. So we're going to do RNAV for 7 right, and then we'll do the Sierra 7 Charlie. That's what our flight plan called for, right? 7 Charlie, I believe. Yep, 7 Charlie. And great. So we'll go ahead and plug that on in. And I'm sure we'll have some sort of discontinuity, so let's take a look. Yep, so limes to no lib. Alright, so let's see how we can plug this up here. Alright, so what we're going to do is, if we look at our approach plate here, so here's limes, and then no lib. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to drop Sierra over limes. So we're going to go ahead and take no lib. We're just going to drop it right over limes. And that should give us the approach we're looking for. Let's take a look at what that looks like here. So let's go on over to plan. And let's close this down. Alright, so go Bez. Alright, keep on going, top of descent. So there is ZUH, Sierra. Sierra is going to take us on over to Canto. Let's take a look here. So Sierra would take us over to Canto, which is correct. And then from there, we're going to take Canto on in to Murray, Silva. And then from Silva, we would hit no lib, and then we take the approach. So looks good to me. I think this should work. And then obviously there's our runway, and that's our go around procedure. So cool, looks good to me. It's definitely tricky. I mean, it's complicated, but you know, it looks as though it works. So alright, I think I'm happy there. So we're still getting a fuel temp low indication, but whatever, we'll deal with it. Alright, well, sounds good. I'll see you guys a little bit closer to approach, and see you guys on the ground. Alright, everybody, so here we are. We just started our descent, and you can see there's a little bit of inclement weather up there. But one really cool thing is that if you look off to our left, you can actually see the airport right there. You can see the little island. And so what we'll essentially be doing, if you guys remember the approach from earlier, is we're going to be coming up and around and then turning, and then there's 07 right, there. So we're actually going to be coming around the airport and then turning into 07 right. And of course you guys can see that here on the approach chart once again. So we're going to come around the island, loop back around, and then land that way into 07 right. And we'll look at it on the chart. So earlier you guys saw this chart, which was a very confusing one, obviously. And you know, obviously there's a whole lot going on, but if you guys remember, we plugged up all of our discontinuities here, and then it gets a little bit complicated looking here. So what you actually want to do is come on down to the 07 right Yankee chart, which 07 right Yankee is the one that we took, and you can see the flight plan right here. So we'll be coming up, around, and then looping back around. So we're going to be coming in from here, looping back around, and essentially doing a kind of corkscrew on down to the airport, if you will. Real quick, let's look at our decision altitude. So it's going to be 430, if you guys look right there. And I programmed our MCP for 6300 just for terrain avoidance over here, and then obviously we'll continue our descent on down. So let's go ahead and set up our decision altitude here. This click spot's always a little bit tricky. Goodness gracious. Alright, so 430 it goes. Alright, so cool. Looks like we are set there. Finally. That click spot when the plane is moving is really tough to really get a handle on. And there's our little airport. Oh, look at her. You can barely see her. So, alright, so we're just going to try to avoid this weather. I think we'll be okay. I think our turn will keep us clear of it. And we'll definitely go ahead and turn on our fasten seatbelt signs now. And I'll also go ahead and put our strobes back on. And let me manually put on... actually, we'll leave anti-ice as it is. I was going to manually put it on, but I think we'll be fine. So everything else looks good. And we'll just continue our descent on here. So let's go ahead and run through our approach checklist. So descent recall is checked. Notes are all checked. We know what our approach looks like. We'll go ahead and put our auto brake to 2. Landing data. Let's go ahead and set up our landing here, which will take a flaps 25, 147 knots. Alright, that'll work. And landing data is set, and approach brief is complete. So descent checklist is complete. And let's go ahead and get a quick weather report for down there. So 122, what is it, 005 I believe it is for active Skynex.
Abbreviated briefing from your current position to Charlie, Yankee, Yankee, Zulu 2, Victor, Hotel, 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 Convective, Sigma, Valid, 0.
That was the wrong one.
0, 0,
I think
Zulu.
it may be 2 then, or 25.
Victor,
There we
Hotel,
go.
Hotel, Hotel, Airport Information, Lima, 0530, Zulu, Weather, Wind, 043, at 8, Visibility, 10, Sky Condition, few clouds at 1,000, 1,800, Scattered Temperature, 12, Dew Point, 10, QNH, 1021, Advise on initial contact, you have information, Lima, Victor, Hotel, 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 Airport Information, Lima, 0530, Zulu, Weather, Wind, 043, at 8, Visibility, 10, Sky Condition, few clouds at 1,000.
Alright, so winds are going to be coming out a little bit off to our left, so they're coming north east, if you will, or pushing in from the north west side actually. Of our direction of landing. So I think we'll be okay. Just gotta keep that in mind, that we're gonna have a very slight crosswind. It's not very heavy anyways. It's only 8 knots. So alright, fasten seatbelt signs are on. We're going through this crazy weather, and I will see you guys a little bit closer to the airport. Alright, and so here we are finally on our approach to Hong Kong. And there's a couple of things I wanted to point out as I was actually on our descent, there were a couple things that I thought about that I wanted to kind of discuss with everybody just real quickly, because I was thinking to myself, some folks may be slightly confused as to why I decided the approach that I did. And so just real quickly, and actually before we even get into this, let me just set something up here. So 1100 is what we want to be at for approach. So 1100. And let me also make sure that our landing lights are on. Alright, cool. So one of the quick things is that if you look out there on the horizon, you guys will see that there is a decent amount of weather. There's actually some thunderstorms out there, and you may even be able to see them on the radar here. Let me see if I can manually adjust it. So turn off auto gain. Let's take it up one notch. See if it'll show up on the radar. Anyways, what I want to talk about is that this particular approach, the 07 right Yankee, is specifically for bad weather contingencies if there's bad weather out of the southwest, and that's also another reason why we didn't decide to take the easy route, which was the ILS, because as you can see, there's a thunderstorm out there, there's a thunderstorm over there, and there are some more storms over there. So it really would not have made for a nice time if we were to try those approaches, because we would have had to fly directly through those thunderstorms. You can even see there's some lightning right there. So instead we're using this, which the nice thing about this approach is that although it's very, very difficult, it literally is going to keep us within this little kind of carved out area right here, which will make things a heck of a lot easier for our approach in weather avoidance. So let me go ahead and turn our weather radar back onto automatic, or tilt I should say, and we'll go ahead and get ourselves all set up. So I'm going to go ahead and give us flaps 5 now, because it's going to be a steep descent. And the other thing that I'll do is we know we're going to be at 147 for 25, flaps 25. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to 152 at 1100 for that last little leg there. Alright, we'll execute that. So that should get us slow enough. I'll go ahead and put out some speed brakes here. So you can see we're just going to make it inside of where those thunderstorms are. It's literally going to just loop us right here, and the thunderstorms start about here. So it'll be a close call for sure. Alright, and let's go ahead and take flaps 15 now. And let's run through our last checklist here. So approach, altimeters are fine. And landing, we'll go ahead and arm our speed brake. And after this turn, we'll put down our gear to help us slow. We'll clear this drag required warning. Oh, you can see kind of the edge of the thunderstorm right there. Yeah, see? So we want to avoid all that. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring our gear down. We'll go ahead and give ourselves flaps 20. And I'm going to actually deploy the speed brake to help us slow a little bit more. Oh, there's some traffic. I don't see them. But if we bring this back down, oh, they're high enough above us, 2,000 feet above us, so we should be good. They're closing.
Maintain vertical speed. Maintain.
I'm sorry, I said 2,000. They were 200 above us, but it looks as though they're closing pretty fast. But still, they should pass behind us, so we should be okay. Alright.
Clear of tunnel.
Cool, we're fine. Alright, we'll take out these speed brakes. We'll arm them again. And we'll go ahead and take flaps 25. So the landing checklist, speed brake armed, landing gear down, flaps 25. Landing checklist is complete. Alright, here we go. We're done with our turn. I'll go ahead and take off our autopilot, and we'll come on in for a manual landing. We're a little bit high, so I'm just gonna slow us down and get that nose down as well. And we'll start to trim ourselves out here. Oh look, we got a... That was the other traffic, I guess. Looks as though we got some traffic landing 07 left. Let me go ahead and throw on terrain radar.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
And we got a little bit of that crosswind factor, so we're fighting it off with rudder.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Alright. We are down, let the nose down slowly. And our reversers come out. How did he do? I think he just got down. Alright, we're 70 knots. I'll go ahead and pull our reversers out, and I'll try to make this turn off right here. I can't see that other traffic, but would have been pretty cool to be able to keep an eye on him. Alright, we'll turn off here, and then we'll figure out where we are going to park up at. Looks like there's some guys trying to taxi over here, so we'll stop a little bit short and give them some room, and we'll take this opportunity to clean up our aircraft. Alright, so great. Let's go ahead and take off the auto brakes. We'll take off TCAS as well. Take off our landing lights. Take off our strobes. No need for taxi lights. Take off our flight directors. And we'll start our APU up. Alright, looks good to me. Flaps come up, spoilers come up, and we're good to go. Alright, I'll go ahead and take off our terrain radar as well. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and check out where we are. So to do that, we'll close out these options, and we'll look at our APC. So we just landed 07 right. We turned off on, what is that, Juliet 6? So that's just below here, Juliet 7. So we're right here, basically. So we're going to get up to these terminals. So we're probably going to pass Juliet and take Hotel instead, because Juliet looks as though it's got traffic coming down to the active. And then let's see what GSX gives us in terms of what's available. And I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to cross this taxiway. And we'll call up GSX and see what they've got available for us. So let's look at the... Oh, great. Now this guy wants to go. Does he not want to go? Forget it. We'll just pretend he isn't there. Goodness gracious. What are they doing? Alright, forget it. Let's get these guys to go. So Sierra, looks as though Sierra 21 is available. So we'll go ahead and take Sierra 21, and these guys are going to drive right into me. Thank you so much. Alright. So we're going to pass all this construction that's going on over here and head on over to Sierra 21. Alright, so let's see where Sierra 21 is. So Sierra 21, Sierra 21 is right there at the end. Okay. So pretty much there at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Hotel up to Hotel 8. And then we'll make a left on Hotel 8, right on Hotel 7, and then we'll turn into Sierra 21. pretty awesome looking construction. So, all right, great. I'll see you guys when we're a little bit closer to our gate. All right, so we just passed Hotel 7, and here comes Juliet 11 and Hotel 8 on our left. So we're gonna make a left here, and then find our gate. So make a left here on Hotel 8. And there's Sierra 106. Alright, great. Alright, and I think we're going to be right over there somewhere. So we'll make a right here. Go to Hotel 7. Just make sure we don't have any traffic in the way. Alright. We'll make our left turn here. I mean our right turn here. A lot of big birds over here. Alright, so there's Sierra 27. So Sierra 27, we've got a couple more to go. And there's Sierra 21. 25. 23. And here's 21. So we're just gonna scoot our way on in here. Looks like our Martian was on a little ladder. And got a long bird, so we just gotta ease our way on in. Alright, and we're looking good. Alright, there we go. Very good. So he wants us to cut our engines. Go ahead and put on our parking brake. We'll call on up the jetway, and we'll go ahead and make sure our APU is running. It is, and we'll kill the engine. So now we'll do our shutdown checklist. We'll override this because we already did that. Shut down hydraulic panel. So alright, and these two. Alright, so hydraulic panel set, fuel pumps are off down there, and we'll take them off up here. There's nothing left in the center tank, so we'll leave those off. And parking brake is set. Alright, we're ready to deboard. So, great. Anyways, guys, well, I hope that you enjoyed the flight. It was definitely enjoyable for me. It was tricky to say the least, at least on approach, but we made it just fine. So, thank you guys so much for joining as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, take care.